Hey, I'm Adrian from Yoke Lore, and I'm here in Austin, Texas at Huckberry, and I'm going to show you what I carry around with me while I'm on tour. Yoke Lore is the kind of concept I was thinking about for a while. A yoke is anything that kind of is a binding agent, like the yoke of an empire holds its people together, or an oxen yoke. And lore is like a set of stories, and usually in a verbal tradition. And I'm interested in telling stories about how things are bound and connected. I think that's where the juice of life is. This is my old, quite tattered, roll top chrome bike messenger bag. I used to live in New York City, and all those crazy bike messengers wear these roll top bags. You can just fit a ton in it, and then you can leave it open sometimes, and you have like way more space. But yeah, so this is my bag. I've had it forever. I go everywhere with it. It's pretty unbreakable or like unimpeachable. You can't mess this thing up. It's just it's like a block of concrete that you can fit stuff inside of. First thing is my wallet. It's an old Tom Ford. For its largesse and its durability, you can fit a lot of it in there, and I have so much stuff in here. Yeah, I have like cards from decades ago, and I keep this little monkey tool in here. It's just like a little flat multi-tool. It has like a ruler on it and a can opener and a little flathead screwdriver. I've used it for a lot of things. It just comes in handy. You totally forget about it until you need it in a situation, and you're like, wait a minute, I have this weird flat tool in my wallet that I can poke things with. That's a picture of an ex-girlfriend. Even though I live in LA, this is like a weird New York thing that I just like have to keep on me. I was born and raised in New York, and keeping the Metro card in my wallet just feels like a little bit of home. This is a picture of me and my brother at one of his movie premieres. He just came out with a new movie called Theater Camp, and everyone should go see it. Our family is pretty tight. My mother's an identical twin, and they can't be apart from each other for very long. And so we were all raised as a big brood, and everyone's an artist. They really, I think, spent a lot of time kind of convincing us that art and love were like the only things worth making. But then when we all became artists, they were like, "Ugh, are you sure?" Like, we were like, "Are you serious? Like, you just spent all this time, years of education, taking us to Broadway instead of sports games." Let's go with some tea bags. I drink a lot of green tea. I'm not a coffee guy. When I'm on tour, I find that green tea not only helps my voice, but like calms me down a little bit. You eat so much crap on tour. Like, you're constantly eating like terrible cheeseburgers at 2 a.m. And so to settle the stomach, it's some nice peppermint. I wanted to write my own music and make my own stuff, and I needed to come off the drums to the front of the stage to do that. Everyone can play guitar. I can play guitar, but I'm not like anything special, and there are like really special guitarists out there who can like play it lefty or righty and behind their backs and with their feet. I don't care enough about the guitar to make it something special. When I found the banjo, it felt like something that I could really add myself to. There's only been one way to play the banjo, and it's like in the woods, in a flannel shirt, big beard, and it's like kind of scary or kind of hokey. The banjo is just a really beautiful sound, and it's really specifically American, and I feel like there's a lot I could do with it that people hadn't done before.
I don't wanna see you smile. I want you reminded before you go before me.
This is my notebook, my pen. I'm constantly drawing, constantly writing. I always just keep a notebook like this on me. I write lyrics, I take little notes, I write little notes to my fans. This is where I like do all my artwork for the album releases. I draw all the artwork for the project. A lot of it starts in notebooks like these. There's something called the I Ching that I throw a lot. This is a I Ching hexagram. It's here. It's like a Taoist oracle. I Ching is called the Book of Change. The Taoists believe that all life is constant flux. At any given moment, you're going through some kind of transition. You throw coins and you kind of divine which hexagram you're going through. I throw that oracle a lot. This is a trusty Carhartt coat. It's a very pretty blue. And the classic canvas Carhartt is just, it's unbeatable. It's canon. Me and a friend got these before we were going on a camping wedding, which we had a lot of fun at, and our girlfriends did not, because there was no like bathrooms for them to get ready in and stuff. But it was a great time. Camping at a wedding is a great idea. Everyone got to like have a fun party and then just walk back to their campsites, you know? Next, I have 2 oranges. Oranges just keep me healthy on tour. I don't like to eat before I play a show. You don't want a full stomach, I don't know, when you're moving around that much. I feel like being like a little bit hungry keeps me on my toes. Like when you're a little bit hungry, you're like in survival mode or something. And so I have a lot of fresh fruit on the rider, and oranges are my favorite way to keep vitamin C in my life. Books. I think as a writer, I really constantly need to keep giving myself new words and stories to play with. It's a really important escape for me to have on tour. This guy, Tom Robbins, is someone I feel really strongly about. He's one of my favorite writers. A lot of his books are really strange and fantastical, but also really like deeply philosophical and kind of poetic. This is a book actually that a fan in Chicago gave to me. A lot of my fans know I'm a reader and a history buff, and so a fan brought me a story about the kind of Chicago in the 50s and like the heyday of the automotive industry and like the mobster scene, and I'm excited to get into it. Here are my Magic the Gathering cards. I'm a big nerd. I used to play a lot of D&D when I was little. I also used to play a lot of Magic the Gathering, which is like it's like a card game where each player has a deck of cards and you use mana to cast spells and you build up armies of creatures and sorceries and you duel. I have a couple Magic decks right now. Me and my photographer Cooper have been playing a lot on this tour, and it's a really nice way to relax and kind of just nerd out a little bit. This is actually my Lord of the Rings deck that I recently built. I'm also a big Tolkien nerd. If anyone wants to learn some Magic the Gathering, just come on by and I'll give you an education. These are my current headphones. As a musician, I just always need to be able to listen. And also I need to be able to cancel out the noise on the very noisy tour bus. I'm always like working on music, even kind of while I'm touring. It's important for me to kind of be able to dive back into that. Lately, I've been listening to a lot of my buddy Petey USA. He's making really wonderfully heartfelt, aggressive music that I think is really special. Go listen to Petey. This is a Frisbee. I still play a lot of Ultimate. There's a book called Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. And in that book, he always kind of talks about having like a towel as like a really important piece of your everyday repertoire. I kind of feel like that about the Frisbee. It's like a dish. It can be a plate. I used to play Ultimate in college. I just love the game of Ultimate. Frisbee is really special to me. I remember having just like a catch with my mom in the living room when I was little. And it's like a really just nice thing to just like have a back and forth between you and someone. This is a disposable camera. I like to keep one on me. I used to develop film when I was little in my house. Me and my father built a darkroom when I was in high school. It was one of the first kind of like ways that I explored being an artist was taking photos. Then like phones happened and I kind of like lost it because everyone just, started taking photos. And that's great, but recently I've just been working my way back toward film. I really love having like the tactile sensation of taking a photo. And this is the last thing that I always carry with me. And it is my vocal exercises from my old voice teacher. It's hard to keep your voice healthy on tour, which is why I have the oranges and the tea. It's also just hard when you're moving and traveling every day to keep your body healthy enough to be able to sing well. I have to spend time and a lot of effort in maintaining my voice, and because I yell a lot on stage, I really need to take some time and care and treat it nicely before and after shows. Norma Garbo, thank you for keeping me healthy, for keeping me right. Yeah, I think this is like a pretty good snapshot of me, actually. As I was leaving the tour bus this morning, I was sleepily like getting everything together. This is a pretty honest representation of who I am, and I'm okay with that. I'm good with that. I don't feel too embarrassed by the magic cards. Thank you for letting me share my bag with you. You can come see me at a show, and I have a new album called Toward a Never Ending New Beginning. You can find everything Yoke Lore on yokelore.com, or listen to me anywhere you'd like. If you Google Yoke Lore, my face will pop up, and then we can do all the things together.